What is up, metalheads? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to come at you. We lost Ozzy Osbourne a week ago, and he was my favorite artist. And I normally am not, trying to do music lists, but I've been more inspired recently. Even before Ozzy passed away, I was thinking about doing this. And I want to come at you guys with this is going to be my top 50 Ozzy songs. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a tier list. Technically, I'm using a tiers website, but this is the way that I'm going to do it, and I'm going to try to put these in order and do my top 50. So S will be the top 10, and then so on and so forth. The F category is going to be ones that don't make the cut. I'll try to keep that for like honorable mentions, and then things that I just leave as it is. Those are just songs that I just don't care for at all. Um, and yeah, and in the future, I would say in the next week or so, I'd like to do this for Black Sabbath as well. Black Sabbath's my favorite band, but Ozzy's my favorite artist, if that makes any sense. So yeah, let's start off with his albums. And by the way, there's only like one Ozzy album that I am not all that crazy about. The rest of them I thoroughly enjoy. I don't count the cover album that he did in like 2005. I know that I was trying to find a tiers list that didn't have that because yes, technically that's an Ozzy album, but that's not him doing his original stuff. So okay, let's start off with and I guess for two honorable mentions that I can think of off the top of my head, Crucify, that's off the Slash album. I think it's from 2010. That song is really, I think it's called Crucify the Dead. That song is really underrated. You guys should check that out. If that was one of these options, I probably put it in my top 50. And then the other song would be Lita Ford, Close My Eyes Forever. I think that's great. But like when Ozzy's just a feature artist, I don't really, when he's just doing some vocals here and there, but not doing like a full song, I don't, I almost don't qualify or count that. So anyway, all right, let's get underway. So we have obviously the Blizzard of Oz album. Okay, so I Don't Know is the first track. A lot of people love this one. Let's see if this will actually. Here we go. I'm gonna put this as an honorable mention. This does not make my top 50. I Don't Know. It had, obviously it's a fine song. It's just not one that I ever go back to and I'm like, wow, I love this one. Crazy Train, that's S tier. I mean, duh. Crazy Train, like, I listened to that song. Like, I went to a lot of Chiefs games growing up, and they played Crazy Train before like every kickoff. So was a big fan of the song. But Crazy Train, I just knew growing up as like, oh, that's Ozzy Osbourne, cool. It wasn't until like I got into metal music in like the early 2010s. I was in the military at this point, and I like almost rediscovered Crazy Train. And when I listened to the guitar solo again by Randy Rhoads, I was like, wow, that is so much better than I think I ever realized. So, and I'm a Randy Rhoads is it's like a tie for me between Randy Rhoads and Tony Iommi because Tony Iommi is the riff master, but Randy Rhoads is the most talented guitarist I've ever heard. Those two are at the top for me as far as favorite guitarist. But anyway, Goodbye to Romance. That's S tier as well for me. Goodbye to Romance is like I say this to my buddies when I talk about Ozzy. I say and I talk about just the career and Randy Rhoads. A lot of guitarists can make like a heavy song. They know how to make a guitar solo for that, but there's not a lot of guys that know how to make like a song that's more mellow and more. I mean, it romantic or just like easygoing. A lot of guys can't make a guitar solo for that actually fits it perfectly. And Goodbye to Romance from Randy Rhoads. That's the reason I love this song so much. I mean, I could listen to that solo anytime. I love it. All right, the song D. Here's the thing. I love this. This is a beautiful piece of instrumental acoustic guitar, but by Randy. But I can't put this because I don't consider this like a real actual Ozzy song. I know it's off the album, but the songs I think it's like a minute and 5 seconds or something like that. It's just not enough for me to consider it a full song. But that can go in honorable mentions. That's fine. Suicide Solution can go in honorable mentions. My buddy Jesse loves this song because, I mean, he just likes to laugh at stuff like suicide. If that offends you, get over it. But Suicide Solution, it just, once again, does not make my top 50, but very close. Mr. Crowley, that's S tier, and I'm going to have to, like I said, I'm going to try to do these in order. I might do that at the end where I actually put these in order. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so out of these three, I would have Mr. Crowley, the top spot, Crazy Train, Goodbye to Romance. Mr. Crowley has like the epicness that was the guitar solo of Crazy Train, but like it's twice. You get two Randy Rhoads guitar solos in that song. Mr. Crowley's also like about more, in my opinion. Crazy Train's just a guy talking about like I've been a dropout, blah blah blah. I make my own rules. He's all going off the rails of a Crazy Train. But Mr. Crowley is talking about like the cult guy, Dr. Crowley. I think that there's just more to that. Just the lyrics, there's more to it, and it's just I don't know. I dig the like I said the guitar solo. I prefer the guitar solo in Mr. Crowley over Crazy Train, and like I said, as of right now, that'd be my favorite. No Bones movies. I'm not even going to put that in honorable mentions, but I mean, like I said, screw it. You guys will know what my honorable mentions are. I'll make sure to like name them. But No Bone movies, that's not even close. I just think that's a complete filler track that I don't think there's a whole lot of merit for. Revelation, Mother Earth, nothing there for me. Steal Away the Night, nothing there for me as well. Okay, now we get to which by the way, just talking about Blizzard of Oz, that should tell you something that if there's 3 songs on an album that are in my top 10 of all time, then I think that means that's one of the greatest albums of all time, in my opinion. Okay, Over the Mountain. This is an honorable mention, and don't get me wrong, I love Randy Rhoads' guitar. That like where at the end of like every Ozzy line, he'll like that guitar riff comes in. I do like that, but the guitar is like the only thing I really like about that song. That to me, the melody and the lyrics of that song are complete filler. Flying High Again. I don't remember. I'll have to look, but I don't remember exactly where I ranked this originally. I'm gonna put this right now in the. I would say this is like the middle tier in the sense of these are the 40, 41 through 50. These are going to be right under a little bit better than that. Probably put Flying High Again there. I mean, I'm checking my notes. Yeah, that's the right spot for it. Okay. You Can't Kill Rock and Roll. Not a big fan of that one. Didn't do much for me. Believer, I do like. I think Believer, this probably is going in the same category. I think Diary of a Madman is overlooked as far as like its genius because this is obviously Randy's last album that he did with Ozzy. Little Dolls doesn't do anything for me. Tonight, nothing. Sato, once again, this is one that I didn't listen to a whole lot, and then going back once Ozzy passed away in this last week, I went back and I listened to every single Ozzy song on every single album, and I was like, just did I miss anything? And there's a couple that I missed. Sato was one that I was like, I don't think I gave this song credit the first time I like listened through Diary of a Madman, so I'm gonna put that in the C tier. And Diary of a Madman is up at the top for me. I love that song, and honestly, I'm gonna slide that to the second spot. Diary of a Madman is just like what Randy was able to accomplish with the everything he does in that song, from going to like hard, fast, heavy riff that's like awesome and like just gets you amped, but then slowing it down when Ozzy's talking about like the basically the man in the mirror. Is he trying to enter, or is he trying to get out or trying to enter me? All that stuff's super deep, and Randy finds the perfect guitar, just melody to fit all that. Okay, so that's it for Diary of a Madman. Once again, I don't think this album's quite as good as Blizzard of Oz as a whole, but then again, I have 4 songs from Diary of a Madman in here, and I only had 3, but the 3 are up at the very top. All right, Bark at the Moon, the album. Randy has since passed away at this point, so this is Jake Lee on guitar. I do like Bark at the Moon a lot, and that's the cool thing is I found songs off Bark at the Moon in the last like I would say year that I was like, I don't know why I never like really listened to these songs a whole lot. So, but the actual title track, Bark at the Moon, I'm trying to look exactly where I would put this. This is tough for me. Hmm. I yeah, I'm gonna put this in B tier because I do think Bark the Moon, just the guitar by Jake Lee is better than these, and I love Randy, but I think the melody that they picked at Bark the Moon I think is catchy and better. Okay, you guys are probably gonna call me crazy on this one. You're No Different to me is an S tier song. I just that synth intro that that goes throughout the whole song. I love it, and I find it. I don't know. I when I imagine the song or I imagine the setting, like with the backtrack to that song, I think of like being in like an '80s anime, like an Akira movie, and I'm just like, wow, it'd be cool to just kind of like have this in the background. But You're No Different, I think, is so underrated. So that one, I'm probably call me crazy. I'm gonna put it up here and even above Crazy Train. I know how great Crazy Train is, but You're No Different. I feel like Crazy Train's like you've heard it a zillion times. You're No Different. I feel like I can listen to more often than that. Now You See Me, Now You Don't doesn't do anything for me. Rock and Roll Rebel. These are all once again I think just filler songs. And keep in mind, You guys comment down below if you think I'm crazy, because I'm always welcome to like revisit songs. Because I just went through all these, I feel like at least on Ozzy, I feel like I'm good. Black Sabbath, I'm about to go re-listen to all those albums and hopefully catch some new songs that I missed. So Tired, I believe I'm gonna put here. It makes my top 50, but it's one of the ones for the longest time it was my favorite off the Bark of the Moon album, just because I found it relatable. So Tired, but it's not. There's nothing spectacular or great about that song. Let's see. Is that where I want it? Yeah. No. I think I moved it up. I think I put it into C tier. Okay. Slow Down. It's okay. Waiting for Darkness is top 10 for me. I once again got into this song late and then rediscovered it about maybe like a year ago, and I just was like, wow, I love this song. I know a lot of people don't. A lot of people think this is another filler, but for me, my favorite part is when he's like, who knows the answers? Or he goes, don't ask me questions. There are things you shouldn't know. I don't know. Everything with the melody of that song, the main riff, and then the guitar solo as well. And I love it all. And what he's talking about, I love. I'm going to put this one above Goodbye to Romance, but not above Crazy Train. Okay. Spiders. I just listened to that for the first time the other day. It didn't do a whole lot for me. Okay. Now we're on the Ultimate Sin album, which I think is underrated. This one, my initial like Ozzy listening experience was like his newer stuff that since I'd been, I would say, teenager and on, which is basically his Black Rain album Forward. And then obviously I'd listen to like, Crazy Train and Mr. Crowley, but it took a while for me to like catch the other stuff. Okay, so the Ultimate Sin, the ones off this album are very close to me. It's hard for me to pick. I'm going to put the Ultimate Sin in the B category, and I am going to put it slightly above Bark at the Moon. I think those songs are very similar, but I think I prefer the Ultimate Sin a little bit more. Secret Loser, one that I must have bypassed all these years. Going back, I listened to it, and I was like, I like the main melody. The song isn't like too crazy, but I am going to put this in my bottom row, but this does make the top 50 list. I think Secret Loser has got just a cool enough riff that I got to put it in there. Never Know Why. I'm going to pass on that. Thank God for the Bomb does nothing for me. Never. Lightning Strikes. Killer of Giants is one that I got into in the last year or so. And I'm going to put that C tier, and I'm going to put that above the other ones of the Diary of a Madman songs. And if I was ranking these, yeah, that's probably how I would have it. I would have Flying High Again, Believer, then Sato, I think is the order I would put those in. But I am going to put So Tired above those. I do think I can listen to So Tired more often than I can listen to the others. Although I do, like I said, Believer, I do have a soft spot for. Okay, Fools Like You, no. Shot in the Dark, that's B category for me. Shot in the Dark. So once again, these are, songs that almost make the top 20. These are, the 30 to 20 range. These are just like the ultimate solid Ozzy song that you can find. Like the guitar's all there. It's just catchy songs. But they're not as like meaningful and impactful as I would say the ones that are in the top 10 and even the top 20. Okay, so if you can see here, obviously, like I said, for Bark at the Moon, 2 of his songs made my top 10, and then I have 2 other ones on here. So I think, once again, that's a solid album. And then the Ultimate Sin album, that's 4 songs that make the top 50. I consider The Killer of Giants, Shot in the Dark, Ultimate Sin, they're all like right around the same range. It's Secret Loser, I'm like, that's a little distant past that, but that's still 4 songs in the top 50 from that album. So once again, another solid album from Ozzy. Here's where it kind of falls off a little bit. I am not that big of a fan. I think this is Ozzy's worst album, is the No Rest for the Wicked album. And once again, I listened to all these songs again. Miracle Man, I get it's catchy, but I just don't. I think Zach Wilde came up with a riff, because this is the first album that he did. And I think the riff is fine, but just what Ozzy's talking about, I don't know. It just doesn't do anything for me. The melody of the lyrics and Ozzy singing doesn't do a lot for me. But I will say it's if I was doing honorable mentions, like I said, okay, if I try to organize these, I don't know, D, Suicide Solution are all good honorable mentions. Over the Mountain can be a good honorable mention. And then I would put Miracle Man as like, those are up there in the top. The rest of these I think are just complete filler. Once again, correct me if I'm wrong. Filler. filler. None of these did anything for me. Breaking All the Rules. That was one that I feel like I rediscovered recently since Ozzy passed. I like revisited the song. I was like, oh yeah, I did have this song on my Spotify. I do like this one. Uh, I'm gonna put Breaking All the Rules in the B category. I don't think the chorus is as great as it should have been, but I just Ozzy's. But I know I can't sing. I'm sorry, but but to you, I should be embarrassed by my singing, but anyway, I'm humming basically. But Breaking All the Rules, I think, is just that melody is just so good, so catchy that I got to put that. That makes the top 30 for sure. Um, okay, the rest of these, like I said, I'm gonna put these. None of these touched me or did anything to me. So we're gonna move on to the No More Tears album. Um, you could make the case that the No More Tears album is like Ozzy's second best album because I don't think anything tops Blizzard of Oz, but I think this one comes pretty close. Okay, so Mr. Tinkertrain. Originally, when I was coming up with this list, I think I had Mr. Tinkertrain in my top 50, and then I had to kind of like rethink it. This can make the honorable mention. This can be. I mean, I'm not putting these in order, but that can be in the top 10 honorable mentions. But it's catchy. It's just not, in my opinion, it's not too deep, and it just feels like 80s. I know it came out in early 90s, but it just feels like 80s. I don't want to say glam rock, but it's made to be catchy, but there's nothing really that close or that deep there. All right, we're on to Mama, I'm Coming Home. And I know this is really emotional because this was Ozzy's last song that he performed live, and then he passed away 2 weeks later. Um, I love this song. Don't get me wrong. It does not make my top 10. I thought about it. I have to kind of arrange these. There's a difference between like most impactful songs that like are the most, you want to say, well respected, and then there's like the ones that's like, how often do I go back and like I search these songs up and I play it. So I put Mama, I'm Coming Home. This one goes in the A tier. So this makes the top 20 to 15, something like that, but it doesn't crack the top 10. But it's a great song. I think the main thing for me is like, I don't know, there's no amazing guitar. Like, it's not that there's not a guitar solo in here, but it's just not one of my favorites. All right, Desire, put that over here. No More Tears. I'd listened to No More Tears a zillion times, but I revisited it, and I just love the bass riff in this song. It just, I don't know. This one I'm mainly here just for the guitar. Ozzy's good, don't get me wrong, but the guitar is so damn good in here. Everything that they do in here is elaborate. I'm gonna put that goes in A tier. Once again, does not quite crack the top 10, but it's very close. All right, Sin, forgettable to me. Hellraiser wasn't forgettable, just like Tinkertain, not forgettable. Just does not crack my top 50. I think they're fine songs, and if they're in your top 50, I get it. But like, those are two songs that like, if someone did a top 50 and they had those two in the top 10, I would be floored. I'd be like, how? Okay, let's keep going. I think I had Tinkertrain slightly ahead of Hellraiser. Whatever. These don't matter. They're interchangeable. Time After Time, nothing for me. Zombie Stomp, nothing. Oh, it's screwing these up a little bit. Okay, AVH, Road to Nowhere is the one that I normally think of. Like, if I think of the No More Tears album, it's actually like the first song I always kind of go to. But that being said, this also goes in the A category, but I think I would order those in that category. I think I like No More Tears, Mama Coming Home, then Road to Nowhere. As soon as Road to Nowhere, like the guitar starts, I don't know, it puts me in a happy place. I don't know how to describe it. Um, I don't know. It puts me back in a time like I'm thinking like riding around with my dad in his truck in like the mid to late 90s where like this song would have still been, I know this was a couple years before that, but it would have been coming on the radio. I don't know. I just puts me in a nostalgic mood. So I'm going to put that there. And then yeah, I think we're on to here, let me go down one page. Now we're on to the Osmosis album. I guess going back to summarize the No More Tears album, 3 songs in the top 20 of all time Ozzy songs. I think that's pretty damn good. And once again, I would not call you crazy if any of these 3 are in the top 10. All right, Osmosis. I start off with Perry Mason. I'm going to put Perry Mason in the A category above even these other ones. I don't know, man. This song's so damn catchy. I actually thought, because I didn't know the whole backstory of Perry Mason, I actually thought this song was about his lawyer. And I was like, how badass is that? It's not. It's about the fictional Perry Mason lawyer from like a 50s television show. But I don't know, man. I can listen to Perry Mason like if I'm just like wanting to do some hard rock, like, and I said like metal, but just I want to just rock out. Perry Mason's perfect. I can go back to that anytime. Does not make my top 10. Barely misses out on it. Okay, I just want you. This is one that I think I first discovered off his album. I think this is the first one I listened to from this album. So I just want you. I put this in A tier, and I would probably say not above Mama I'm Coming Home, but above Road to Nowhere. Um, I love that song. I think that song's pretty deep about what it's talking about. Um, Although I will say, if you tell a girl I just want you, you better be damn sure she likes you back, because most girls might get freaked out if you just say I just want you. Does nothing for me. Thunder Underground, nothing for me. See You on the Other Side is another one that when I first went and listened to Ozzy songs, this was about maybe 10, 15 years ago, going through all his albums. See You on the Other Side definitely caught my ear. I'm going to put that one in A tier, and I'm going to put that one just above Mama I'm Coming Home. Once again, you can call me crazy, but I probably listen to See You on the Side a little bit more than Mama I'm Coming Home. All right, Tomorrow. So I'm ashamed to say this, but I must have just like skipped this one or whatever it was when I first went back and listened to Ozzy. So a week ago, I'm going through and listening to Ozzy, and I'm like, I don't know where this song has been, but I can't get it out of my head, and I love it. So this is like finding buried treasure to me. You guys can call me crazy, but as of right now, I'm not saying this is a once again, not saying this is a uh, critically better song like overall or objectively. I'm just saying like catchy or just the one I've been listening to the most. I'm gonna put this one here. This is S tier. I just the guitar as soon as like the intro of the guitar starts and it gets into like hard rock from Zach. I just I love it and Ozzy, the way he's singing, like, can I get a witness? Bow, bow, bow. I don't know. I'm probably ruining the sound for you guys, but I I just fell in love with the song, so I got to put it up in my S tier because I've been playing it nonstop. Denial. Denial, I added to my Spotify and I would put it up here. It does not make my top 50, but I was like, I like this one. My Little Man, I think he's talking about his dick in that one. My Jekyll Doesn't Hide, Old LA Tonight. These last three are serviceable, like I remember them, but just not good enough to make my top 50 or even really the honorable mentions. So, if you look at the Osmosis album, you have four of his songs off that album that make my top 20 to 15 and even one that makes the top 10. Once again, another great album by Ozzy. I think if each time you're making four songs that people go, "Oh yeah, I love that. Like that's one of my favorites." Then I think that album's a success. The only album so far that he's made that I think is a disappointment is the No Rest for the Wicked, and it's not for. I'm not gonna give them crap for like they didn't try. I just think that they went for like '80s glam rock style that I don't or party rock that I don't think is really what Ozzy's that great at. Okay, now we're in the Down to Earth album, which I remember when this album was coming out. Like I remember some of these songs being played on the radio, but took a while for them to grab me because, like I said, when I was a kid, I was more into like classic rock, like I would say ACDC, Queen, the stuff that like had been played at nauseum on the radio. And it wasn't until later on that I discovered metal, and I was like, this is way more my jam. Okay, so Gets Me Through, I think, is underrated because people don't give it the credit that it deserves because that opening, that riff, so good. So I'm going to put that at C tier. I'd probably put it above Flying High again. Maybe not above So Tired. Very close. But yeah, I enjoy that one. Facing Hell is close to making the list, but I left it off. Okay, so Dreamer. I think people. Give me 1 second. I think people make fun of this song a little bit, like it because you can. Ozzy has said in like the Osbourne show, he's like, "I look like I'm in fucking agony, Sharon," but the song is just it's great. I think he achieved what he wanted. He wanted like a John Lennon like, like the world will be one, like let's all unite song. And I think this song does that. So I'm going to put Dreamer in my top 10. I'm going to put it above Goodbye to Romance, which I would have 5 years ago, 10 years ago said that was crazy, but I'm going to put Dreamer above Goodbye to Romance because what he's talking about here I think is pretty deep. Okay. No Easy Way Out. It's going to be a no for me that I never had. pass on all these. Once again, if you love these, let me know in the comments and tell me I'm crazy. My favorite song is Dreamer off this album, but second favorite that is underrated is Running Out of Time. I'm gonna put this in A tier and even above Road to Nowhere. I always have that, like, it's just always stuck in my head. Stroll always seem to find a way inside my mind. I'm living alone. I don't remember all the lyrics off the top of my head, but that melody I love, and I don't know that it's like this is the one of the first songs that I feel like is like modern Ozzy that comes into like the 21st century. It feels upbeat and light, but at the same time you can still tell like, oh, that's coming from, the king of metal. Okay, Prince of Darkness, obviously, but I'm gonna call him the king of metal. All right, Black Illusion, it was okay. Alive, these are all once again okay, but that's it for this album. Had three songs that made the top 50, one in the top 10, one in the top 20, and then another that's in the top 40. I think that's pretty solid. I mean, like I said, I wish there was more off that album that I enjoyed, but it's okay. All right, this next album, Black Rain, I was watching some guy the other day. He came out with a ranking all the Ozzy Osbourne albums, and he had Black Rain as like last, saying like it was basically dog shit. And I was like, no, man, I'm not feeling that because Black Rain, I think, is one of his deepest albums. It's not critically acclaimed the best, but he's got a lot of just, in my opinion, like bangers off this album. Okay, Not Going Away. That I don't care if the song is repetitive. I when I'm in the mood to listen to just like a hard, just like fuck the world, fuck them, like I ain't going away. Like I get in the mood to listen to the song. So I'm gonna put Not Going Away. I'm gonna put that in the B tier. Slightly above Breaking All the Rules, but not above the other ones. But I think that's still pretty good. Okay, I Don't Want to Stop. So when I talk about like, yeah, I'd heard Ozzy before, I'd heard Crazy Train, I heard a lot of that stuff, but I Don't Want to Stop was like the one I remember in high school when that came out. I'm like, damn, Ozzy's still making music, and I was like, okay, this is really good. I downloaded that on my Sprint Fusic phone, which only the older people I guess are gonna remember, but I played this song nonstop, and I really was like, I love this. So that might have been my turning point into wanting to get into more hardcore metal songs. I'm gonna put I Don't Want to Stop in the A tier, and I'm gonna put it not above No More Tears, but above the other ones. I I think I Don't Want to Stop is a great song that is underrated. That people just view as like that's just one of his, I don't want to say pop songs, but they think it's just like one of his commercial songs, and I'm like, no, it really is like, I don't know, just the whole part of that song is just catchy, upbeat, and puts you in a good mood. Black Rain, this guy I'm talking about, he was shitting on the song, calling it dog shit. Uh, Black Rain, I'm gonna put in my B category. I'll put it right there, not above Shot in the Dark, but right there. Black Rain, I think what he's talking about when he's talking about like we send the younger generation goes off to die in the desert basically while the older generation profits off them, the politicians, all that kind of stuff. So because I think he says at one point he goes sending the children in the desert to die. Such a good line. But yeah, I think Black Rain's underrated in a deep, a meaningful song. Lay Your World on Me. So he's got multiple songs on here that are like deep, slow, I would say more heart sentimental songs. Lay Your World on Me is my lesser of the two, but I still like it a lot. I would put Lay Your World on Me. It's in this bottom row. Sorry, it's in this bottom row. It's in the 40 to 50. But I'm gonna say I enjoy that one. I enjoy it more than Secret Loser, so I'm gonna put it right there. The Almighty Dollar, I think, just made my cut in my top 50, but I enjoy it. The swimmer, God bless the Almighty Dollar. I don't know. What he's talking about again is just people prioritizing money over everything and talking about our politics at that time, which was the mid to late 2000s. Yeah, I don't know. I like it enough. Like I said, you can tell me I'm crazy because I don't know better musicianship and all that, and Over the Mountain as well. But the Almighty Dollar, I don't know. I am more in the mood to listen to that than listen to the other ones. A lot of times it's because like in Over the Mountain, it's like I said, the guitar is what I want, but Ozzy's lyrics, what he's talking about, it just seems very generic and just doesn't seem to have a point to it. Suicide Solution, I love his lyrics. The melody doesn't do it for me. I don't know. I I kind of like a little bit of both, but they just once again didn't come together for me. Okay, next song we got 11 Silver. This one wasn't memorable to me, so this I was like I didn't even when I went back and revisited the albums, I was like I don't even remember that song at all. Civilize the Universe, put you back here at the bottom. Here for You, I got like into this album like in 2012. Like I really was like, oh, I'm loving this. And Here for You is one of my favorite sentimental Ozzy songs. I'm where am I putting this? I'm gonna put this not above Black Rain, but I'm gonna put it in between Black Rain, Here for You, and Not Going Away. I'm gonna put these three together. Because it's almost like I can't decide. They're all three good in all different ways. Black Rain, I think, is like he has the most politically to say. Not Going Away is the most like fuck you rock song, and Here for You is the most sentimental. He had an amazing line that I think I put as a Facebook status, which is what you used to do. I put sometimes I sit back and I wonder whatever happened to my friends. Too many bought a one-way ticket, but I'll be with you till the end. Love that line. And at the time, I was feeling very isolated because a lot of the people that I knew from high school, that was my first, like, hey, I'm on my own. I'm in the military. I'm away from everybody. And, some people checked in on me. Some people stayed in touch, and a lot of people didn't. Countdown's begun. This one, it makes my top 50. I think I'm going to put this one C tier, but near the end. I just love that intro, like guitar. It almost sounds like a bell tower, like just a clock. Something's ticking, like the doomsday clock's coming for you. And then I think that's what their goal was, but I love it. And then Trapdoor doesn't really do anything for me. Okay, so with the Black Rain album, I think this is pretty good. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 songs off his album made my top 50. I think, like I said, I think it's one of his deepest album. I'm not putting, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I did not put any of his songs from that album in my top 10. I Don't Want to Stop came the closest. And I acknowledge I Don't Want to Stop is not like some super deep song. I like it. It's catchy. Okay, let's go on to the Scream album. Okay, Let It Die. I love this song. I don't know why the name of the album or the radio track, the only one that people ever like that hit the radio was Let Me Hear You Scream, which I think is a mistake. I think that album had so many better songs. And Let It Die, this one is in B tier for me, and I think I have to put it above these other ones. I'm a rock star, I'm a dealer, I'm a soldier. Like, I don't know. I like all that shit. And when it gets down to like, everything is breaking, you're mistaken. I love all that shit. I give Let It Die a shot, people. If you're out there and you love Ozzy and you don't know that song, give Let It Die a shot. It's just a good time. It's just Ozzy having a good time in his older age, just being like, fuck it. I want to, like, people aren't making good rock albums anymore. I want to make a good rock album, and I think he succeeds. Let Me Hear You Scream. This goes in my bottom 50. I'm gonna put this above these other ones, but this is not one of the elite songs. It's fine. Like, I can listen to Let Me Hear You Scream and I don't cringe, but it's just never, I don't get into it as I do these other ones. Soul Sucker came close because I always remember when the first time I listened to the Scream album, I just thought it was so cool that Soul Sucker. But at the end of the day, that's kind of all that song has. There's not a whole lot of deep shit for me in that song. Life Won't Wait. Ozzy's got a lot of like, this is probably his most sentimental album, is the Scream album. He's got a lot of shit that he's reflecting as an older man, wishing he could tell his younger self some things. And Life Won't Wait, I'm gonna put that one. I'm gonna put that in the. This makes the bottom 50, but I think I put this above the other ones. Yeah. I the first time I heard that, I really resonated with it because I was in my early 20s and I was like, damn, okay, like, make the most of my time. Digging Me Down, I really enjoy this one as well. I'm going to put this one in C tier, and I'm going to put it right above Countdown's Begun. Digging Me Down, this isn't, let's be honest, for the most of the song, it's just okay, it's fine, it's serviceable, but when it gets to like the breakdown and it completely switches the music and it almost seems like dreamlike, and he's got a line in there, which I'm a Christian, but I enjoy him, what he's talking about. He says, how will I know you, Mr. Jesus Christ? Have you already been here once or twice? The Son of Man, or obsolete facade, how will I know that you're the Son of God? Even if you disagree with what he's saying, like I said, I'm Christian, so I don't love someone questioning God. But I will say, like, what he's saying is like really good lyrics, made it rhyme, and it all works together in the song. You give "Digging Me Down" a shot. I've that line alone would go in my top 10 as far as like impactful lines that Ozzy ever did. But the song itself, I can't put it like higher than where it's at. Okay, Crucify. Me and my buddy Jesse are big Ozzy fans, and we love him. Like I said, he's our favorite artist. And when we get together and we just hang out, we're playing video games, playing Halo, whatever. When it's just like, hey, let's fucking play some Ozzy, Crucify is always up there. And I'm going to put this in my A tier because this is one that I play a lot. I'm going to put this one right behind I Don't Want to Stop. Okay, this kind of screwed up my rankings. Right there, I believe is where I want that. Yeah. Okay, so I if you have not listened to Crucify, give that a shot. Give me your heroes, your sinners and saints. My buddy Jesse always loves where he says, "I'm gonna swear on the Bible while I'm feeding you lies." It's a cool lyrically cool song, and the melody is good enough. And I don't remember who does. I don't know who does the guitar off that album. I don't think it was Zach Wild, but I might be wrong. Fearless, nothing for me. Put that down here. Time, I almost get like Life Won't Wait and Time almost mixed up, but Time is like, you will never have time. Mm-hmm. I'm going to put that, as far as these, this makes, oh my gosh, this makes the D tier, but I'm going to put it above the other ones. I like it just a little bit more. Because, yeah, Time's got some really good lyrics in there. The time has come for you to make up your own mind. Yeah. Time waits for no one, yeah. Give that one a shot. I Want It More and Latimer's Mercy and I Love You All. These all go in the bottom for me. Don't do a whole lot for me. Okay, so the Scream album. No songs made my top 10. I don't think that it's that kind of an album. Crucify makes my top 20. That's more just like guilty pleasure for me. But overall, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs off that album that makes my top 50. Once again, I think it's a deep album, pretty solid. It just doesn't have, let's be honest, every one of Ozzy's albums normally have like, oh, that's an amazing song, going to make my top 10. This album didn't have that, and that's okay. Okay. Then at this point, if you know your Ozzy the timeline, he then gets back with Black Sabbath, and they do the 13 album, which, like I said, in the next video I come out with, I'm going to do Black Sabbath songs in this tier list. But when he finally came, I was waiting for the longest time for him. Like, I want Ozzy to do more solo stuff. Like, after Black Sabbath ended, I was like, how long do we have to wait? And it was a couple years because I saw him in concert in, what was that? I think February of 2016. They came to Kansas City. I took my dad and my brother. We saw him. And my dad loved Black Sabbath, so he was happy. My brother's music tastes are like slightly different than mine. Like, he likes rock, more classic rock, but he's not really a metal guy. He doesn't like hardcore stuff. So, excuse me. So it was nice to get to let him experience that. He's 4 years older than me. But yeah, I was waiting and I was like, okay, so I had to wait 4 years. And then this album came out like right before COVID hit. And I was kind of disappointed because I was expecting like really good stuff. The album cover looked great. So Straight to Hell, I do not care for this song. I just think it's like just crap, in my opinion. Straight to Hell Tonight. Yeah, I'm going to pass on that. All My Life, nothing there. Goodbye, nope, doesn't ring a bell even. I don't even remember that song. Ordinary Man. So when Ordinary Man first came out, I would have put that song like really high, being like, wow, that was, because I thought that was like Ozzy's swan song of what he was going out on. And then, he made more music, and then I was like, okay, so Ozzy could have done better. I like the song, and I normally don't care for Elton John all that much, but I do like him in that. But I am going to put this at the bottom 50. It makes the list. I'm going to put this above Let Me Hear You Scream, but not none of the other ones, because I think I'd listen to the other ones more. Ordinary Man, the part I don't care for is the yes, I've been rebellion, been higher than the blue skies. I just don't, that melody doesn't do a whole lot for me. I prefer the very beginning, like when he's like, many times I lost control, you tried to kill my rock and roll. I know that's Elton John's line, but that melody I'm more okay with. But when it does the chorus part, I'm not that big of a fan. Under the Graveyard. Sorry, I'm going to take a glass of drink of water real quick. Under the Graveyard, when it came out, I would have probably put that in like my top half because it was really catchy and I liked it. Um, I I don't know. I don't know why they have it twice here. Under the Graveyard, I'm gonna put. Yeah, I don't know. I did these rankings like a couple days ago just to give myself like a template to kind of look at. I have it right here in my rankings, but as of listen to this, I think I'd rather listen to Under the Graveyard more than the rest of these. So I'm not gonna change like what tier it is, but I'm just gonna move it over because I think I'd rather listen to Under the Graveyard over these other ones. But it doesn't crack like the higher tiers. Okay, Eat Me. Don't even remember that one at all. Today is the end. Nope. Scary Little Green Men is the one that when I went back and listened to the other day, I was like, I do remember this one, and it's okay. Like the melody's okay, but what he's talking about, he's talking about aliens, but like there's just nothing I can like bite into and resonate with that song. It's just like okay, he's talking about aliens, but doesn't do anything for me. Nope, nothing. It's a Raid. I thought that song was crap, and if maybe if you guys disagree with me, okay. So Take What You Want. This is tricky. While I do find Take What You Want a really catchy song, and I love Post Malone a lot. He's not obviously close to Ozzy for me, but like I do like him as an artist a lot. When he makes something new, I pay attention. But Take What You Want, it definitely feels more like a Post Malone song than it does an Ozzy song. Like Ozzy's there and he gets to do like the part of the chorus that is his, but like he doesn't really have a verse to do, which is a bummer. And I don't know. Like I said, if I just was like listening to like, oh, what song is catchy? Take What You Want is up there for me, but it never feels like an Ozzy song, which is why I have to kind of demote it. So I put Take What You Want. It's in the top 50, but where do I put this? Above Secret Loser, but not above the other ones. I think that's right. I like it. Once again, don't get me wrong. It just the if a song is a great Ozzy song or just a solid one, I gotta put that above Take What You Want because Take What You Want feels just like a Post Malone song. Okay, that's it for the Ordinary Man album. And once again, you see, this did not resonate with me the way I was hoping. I got Ordinary Man, Under the Graveyard, Take What You Want. So that's three songs that made my top 50. But Take What You Want just feels like it's kind of like an honorary member of the album. It almost feels like it shouldn't belong there. It should just be off Post Malone's album. So really, yeah, Ordinary Man, Under the Graveyard are the only two I'm ever like, oh yeah, that's off that album. They're good enough, catchy enough, but just it. I don't know. This album, when it wanted to be metal, the melody wasn't good enough, and then everything else was like super light. And I want Ozzy to be a little bit darker, so I don't know. It just was kind of a miss for me. Okay, lastly, we get into the Patient Number Nine album, which sadly is Ozzy's last album. I was hoping, man, because this album I thought was fantastic. This album, if we want to talk about like what Ozzy did for us, like how did he impact your life? 2022 was the first half was like the hardest part of my life I think I've ever had to go through. I'm not going to get into everything that happened, but I was in a real rough spot, and I was. I had just got accepted into film. This is not part of the rough spot. This is when my life was getting better. I got accepted into film school. I lost 40 pounds. I was like, I'm determined. I went through a bad breakup. I'll just say that. And this album was getting announced. It was coming out, but like when the first song hit, Patient Number Nine, I don't remember what month that was. I want to say it was like in May. I was about 2 months away from leaving to go to Los Angeles for film school, and man, it was exactly what I needed. It like pulled me out of my crap, my funk that I was in. Um, and one of my favorite lines, because we're on Patient Number Nine, the title track. One of my favorite lines from that song, because my buddy Jesse like reiterated this to me when I was going through a rough patch. He says in the song, he goes, uh, "And you believe their lies," like basically saying like people are telling lies about you, and you're crazy enough to believe them. My buddy Jesse had to like say that to me and basically say like, "Dude, like stop listening to these people that are trying to tear you down and say you're a complete piece of crap." He's like, "They're pieces of crap for what they did to you, and they're not even being like self-reflecting." He was like, "So stop listening to people." There's another good quote that I heard recently. I forgot who said it, but it's really good. It's like the world is hard enough on you. Like you shouldn't have to be hard on yourself. The world's gonna do that for you. I do think that people need to have humility. Don't get me wrong, but I also agree that like don't beat yourself up over everything because everyone else is gonna do that for you. So just don't do it. All right. So Patient Number Nine. This song's really catchy. I really like it. It's not as like meaningful and impactful as some of the other ones, but I'm gonna put Patient Number Nine. Where did I rank that at? That goes right at the top of here. I'm gonna have to move this up. It goes right at the top of the B tier for me. So does not make my top 20, but it's very close. I really love that song. Okay, Immortal. I didn't even remember that song, and like I think every time I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, I'm not a fan. Okay, you guys can call me crazy. Parasite. I love this song. I. It's like everything I want in a song. I don't know. Like the guitar instantly grabs me, the melody, and then Ozzy singing is just great. Parasite makes my top 10, and I call me crazy. I listen to it more than Goodbye to Romance, so I gotta put it above Goodbye to Romance. I love that song. I would love to know in the comments if there's other people that loved the Patient Number 9 album as much as me. Let me know, because I'm not saying it because it's just the newest stuff. I'm 33. I'm not. It's not like this was the first Ozzy album that had ever hit my radar and my radio. But I that Parasite song is just so good. So some of these are a little tricky because I kind of lump them together. Like the ones that I really love are up there, but then there's other ones I'm like, on any given day I could prefer this one over this one. These two in particular, or sorry, three. No. So yeah, No Escape from Now, One of These Days, and Nothing Feels Right. On any given day, those could be in a different spot. Let me look as far as where I had them. No Escape from Now, I like it because it's the Tony Iommi song. Because Tony Iommi's on this one and he's on Degradation Rules. Degradation Rules is cool because it has the harmonica. But in general, like I don't want to be blasting a song that's talking about asphyxiation and masturbation nonstop. So I'm gonna put No Escape from Now. That goes in the C tier. Not above Killer of Giants, but I believe above So Tired. Yeah, let's do that. All right, One of These Days. I'm gonna put that in the C tier. I'm gonna put that right here. Uh, now I'm gonna switch these. I like Gets Me Through slightly more, but I'm gonna put that above these other ones. Like these are really high for me. One of these days, that's Eric Clapton doing the guitar. It's just it's awesome to hear. It's awesome to just hear a different style of guitar that still feels like it works with this genre. It's just really nice. A Thousand Shades. I know some people like that song. It was just kind of a miss for me. Okay, Mr. Darkness. You thought I put Parasite high. That this song it deeply impacted me when I heard it. I'm putting this at number 3. I love that song. I just love everything about it. The lyrics that he talks about. I can't even get into all of them because I don't have them in front of me. Um, my walls are covered with pictures of you. I fantasize that you were here in my room. He talks about some days I wake up just wanting to die, but I still try. I mean, Ozzy's obviously talking about like darkness itself, like filling your room, blah blah. But he's talking about himself as like an older man, and basically saying like, I mean, do you think his family loves hearing him talk about like some days he wakes up just wanting to die? But like for him, that's impactful because he's like he says multiple times in his last couple of albums, he's like, I don't even know why I'm still alive. Like I don't even know what my purpose is anymore. So he puts that feeling and those lyrics into his music. Nothing Feels Right, I think, is my favorite. I mean, it's part of the chorus, but they're like, mouth around the gun, nothing feels right. I think this song is solid. Where would I put it? Hmm, tricky. I'm going to put this in the B tier. Let me see. I'm going to put this in the B tier. And I'm going to put it above the Black Rain songs, but not above Shot in the Dark. That's where I'm going to put it. Perfectly catchy song that I find myself going back and listening to. Evil Shuffle, I don't even remember it. Degradation Rules, like I said, this could be honorable mention. I like it, but just doesn't make it. Dead and Gone is one that I listen to like nonstop. When I came back from LA a couple months later, I was staying in Airbnbs waiting to get my own place, and I remember just like that week I started a new job and I just was like playing Dead and Gone like all the time. Um, I would put this one. This is in my top 20, and I think even in the top 15. I'm gonna put Dead and Gone. It's right behind Crucified because you're talking about these are songs that, like I said, I just go back and I play these all the time. So there you go. I love that song, and we'll finish up. God Only Knows. Okay, so Dark Side Blues. I don't even remember this song, so sorry. God Only Knows, I think this was when I was debating whether it makes the top 50, and I did find room for it. It's at the very back though. I put God Only Knows just slightly above the Almighty Dollar, but not above the other ones. Okay, so that's my top 50. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And like I said, I'll just try to. I want to summarize this real quick. So that means my top 10 songs I got. Let's go 10 to 1. 10, I got Goodbye to Romance because of the Randy Rhoads solo. Parasite because I go back to that one all the time and play it because I love that song. Dreamer because that's one of his most meaningful songs. Just like I love the line like when will all this anger, hate, and bigotry be gone? Waiting for Darkness because like I said, I love that. Crazy Train, Tomorrow because I can't get it stuck out of my head. You're No Different because once again that one is deeply impactful to me. Mr. Darkness, one of his best songs that I think people are not realizing. Diary of a Madman because of Randy's excellent work there, and then Mr. Crowley is the top because that's probably the best metal song of all time or one of them. And then like I said, these are ones that I listen to all the time. Perry Mason, No More Tears, I Don't Want to Stop, Crucified, Dead and Gone, See You on the Other Side, Mom, I'm Coming Home, I Just Want You, Running Out of Time, Road to Nowhere. And then, these are good time, just a good time listening to Ozzy. Patient Number 9, Let It Die, Ultimate Sin, Bark at the Moon, Shot in the Dark, Nothing Feels Right, Black Rain, Here for You, Not Going Away, Breaking All the Rules. Then these are starting to go like to my, I don't like them quite as much, but they're in my playlist. Killer of Giants, No Escape from Now, So Tired, Gets Me Through, One of These Days, Flying High Again, Believer, Sado, Digging Me Down, Countdown's Begun. And then these are ones that I'm like, yeah, they're on my Spotify, but I probably will never search these out. I'll just, if they come up, I'm like, yeah, I enjoy listening to them. Under the Graveyard, Time, Life Won't Wait, Ordinary Man, Let Me Hear You Scream, Lay Your World on Me, Take What You Want, Secret Loser, God Only Knows, and The Almighty Dollar. There you go. There's my top 50 in order. I ranked these in order. If you enjoyed this, comment down below. I just hope that, that people that love Ozzy find this video and we can disagree, we can talk, but let's just celebrate the great artist that he was for everything that he did for us, all the music that he made. Like that guy Youngblood, that artist that did the Changes song off their last concert that they did. His cover was great. Don't get me wrong, it was awesome. But I was looking up quotes from him the other day, and he told Ozzy in the dressing room, I guess. Ozzy was, I guess, trying to give him stuff, and he told Ozzy, he goes, "Man, your music was enough. Like that's a good enough gift for me. Like your music was enough." And I'm like, if I wish I could say that to Ozzy. He's like, dude, if you ever wonder like whether you accomplished something, it's like, dude, your music will be here forever. I mean, people are gonna be listening to stuff forever. All right, so the next video I'm gonna come at you guys with is the Black Sabbath songs ranked, put in a tier. So that's it for now. Like I said, rock on metalheads, and like I said, let's listen to Ozzy and Black Sabbath and just remember the man that he was. All right, have a good one, guys.